continue from where we ended in our last class. And we ended with the fifth question, which was resolved as an example, and I left that for you to look at it clearly before we can then solve today. So in our last class, I gave you this problem. You heard that a linguistic center offers studies in 3 languages: French, English, and German. And given that every student studies at least one of the 3 subjects, this information was given that 10 students study all 3 languages, 30 study English and French, 44 study French and German, 60 study English and German, 67 study French, 95 study English, and 104 students study German. And we were asked that A, you should illustrate this information on a Venn diagram. B, we are asked to find the total number of students in the class. And C, you were asked to find how many students studied only English. So we are going to solve this problem, and the order in which the information is given is clear. Discover that 10 students study all 3 languages. So in drawing, we need to start with the intersection of all 3 sets. So we start with that region which show the number of students who study all 3 languages. So the way the information is given, we are going to start from above, following and going downward. So let's have the solution. A, we are asked to illustrate the information on a Venn diagram, and a Venn diagram we represent using a rectangle. So we draw a rectangle, and we have 3 sets. So we have 3 intersecting sets. French is denoted by F, English E, and German G. So we have 10 students study all 3 languages. So we affix 10 in the region for all 3 sets. The next statement says 30 study English and French. English and French refers to the region between the intersection of those 2 points. Look at the circles. Discover that French and English meet at 2 points. The circles intersect at those 2 points indicated. Therefore, 30 study English and French means you add those 2 regions enclosed by the point of intersection. You should have 30. Since we have already written 10, the remaining region will contain the value 30 minus 10, which means subtract that 10 from that 30 to have 20. So that region will contain 20, so that 10 plus 20 should give you that 30. So that region containing 20 can be called French and English only. When that word only is there, it means you can now exclude the intersection of all 3 sets. But French and English means every student studying French and English, and that also includes those who study French and English and German. The next sentence says 44 study French and German. So French and German, you simply follow the circles where the circles meet. Which means French and German will be 10 plus those who study French and German only. That should give 34. That should give 34 for those who study French and German only. So 34 plus 10 will now give 44. And that 44 will be those who study French and German. The next sentence says, 60 study English and German. English and German, look at the circles and follow from where the circles meet. So 60 study English and German means those who study only English and German will be 50, since we already have 10 studying all three languages. Therefore, we have 50, and 10 plus 50 will give that 60. The next sentence is 67 study French. 67 study French means when you add everything within the circle for French, you should have 67. So adding the values already filled in the Venn diagram, you have 20 plus 10 gives 30. 30 plus 34 gives 64. Therefore, we have 3 lacking to make that 67. So that 3 will fall in the region for French only. So if you now add everything within the circle for French, you have 67. Also, you are told 95 study English. 95 study English means when everything within the circle for English is added, you amount to 95. So following that circle for E, add the values already listed, you have 20 plus 10, that makes 30. 30 plus 50 makes 80. So what is lacking to make 95? You have 15. So the 15 goes to the region for English only. Now you add all those figures within the circle for English, it will give you the 95. And the last value is 104 students study German. 104 students study German means you add everything within the circle for German, it should amount to 104. So discover that you already have 34, 10, and 50 within the circle for German. So adding those values, you have 34 plus 10 gives 44. 44 plus 50 gives 94. So what is lacking to make 104 is 10. So 10 goes to that region for German only. Therefore, the Venn diagram has been drawn to represent that information. So the B part, you are asked to find the total number of students in the class. Now, since each of those figures does not represent an element in the region, it represents the total number of elements in each of those regions. So it represents cardinal numbers. So to find the total number of students in the class, you simply add all those figures. And the total number of students in the class is the same as the cardinal number of F union E union G. And that should be the same as adding all those values. Will be equal to 3 plus 20 plus 10 plus 34 plus 10 plus 50 plus 15, which will give us 142. So there were 142 students in the class. The C part of the question. Find how many students studied only English. So that's the same as the cardinal number of E only. From the Venn diagram, discover that it is 15. Following the circle for English, discover that 15 is found in the region which does not fall in other for the only English 15. Now you get this exercise, which we are going to look at it together. So exercise, you have this Venn diagram. With the circles within the rectangle labeled F, V, and M. And for the circle F, we have 15 minus X in the region for F only. We have Y, we have X plus 2, we have 5, and for the other region, we have 2Y minus X, Y minus 4, 20 minus Y, and 2X plus Y. Now, the Venn diagram represents the number of times a patient ate fish, vegetables, and meat last month. So F simply stands for fish, V for vegetables, M for meat. Given that the cardinal number of F intersection M is equal to 11, and the cardinal number of F union V union M complement is 15, A, find the values of X and Y. B, using these values of X and Y, copy and complete the Venn diagram. Hence, determine the number of times the patient ate, then C part, fish, D, meat and vegetables, E, meat and fish only, F, vegetables only, G, determine how many times the patient ate neither meat nor fish nor vegetables, and shade this region on the Venn diagram. So looking at that problem again, so the Venn diagram is clearly shown with the regions given in terms of X and Y. And the A part, you are asked to find the values of X and Y. So looking, you are given the information. which should be used for that. So it is given that the cardinal number of F intersection M is 11. So the cardinal number for F intersection M is the region containing x plus 2 and 5, which means when you add x plus 2 plus 5, you should have 11. So we are going to use that to calculate our x and y. So let's have the solution together. So for A, we have the cardinal number of F intersection M equal 11. Implies that x plus 2 plus 5 is equal to 11, which will give x plus 7 equal 11, since 2 plus 5 gives us 11. And we want to find x, therefore x should be on one side of the equation alone. So we write 7 on the other side. And writing 7 on the other side of the equation, the sign changes from plus to negative. So that will give us x equal 11 minus 7. 11 take away 7 gives 4. Therefore x will be equal to 4. So our x is 4. Also, we have that the cardinal number of F union V union M complement is 15. And looking at the Venn diagram, you see that the region not found within any of the circles contains 2x plus y, which means that 2x plus y is a cardinal number for F union V union M complement. Therefore, we'll go back. So we are going to have x plus y equal 15, which means 2 times 4 plus y is equal to 15, since our x is 4. 2 times 4 will give 8, so we have 8 plus y equal 15. To have y should be on one side of the equation, so writing 8 on the other side and changing the sign, we have y equal 15 minus 8, which will give y as 7. So the value for y is 7. In the B part, we are expected to replace those values in the Venn diagram. So again, from the Venn diagram, you have 15 minus x, y, x plus 2, 2y minus 1, and so on. So wherever there is x, replace it by 4, and wherever there is y, we will replace it by 7. So we are going to do that. So we are going to have the B part. So we have three subsets of the universal set F, V, and M. So when we have 15 minus x, it becomes 15 minus 4, which gives 11. Where we have y, it becomes 7. Where we have x plus 2, becomes 4 plus 2, which gives 6, and the region 5 is already there. Clearly from the Venn diagram, not in terms of x or y. And the other region will simply give 13, 10, 3, and the region not found within the circles will have 15. So we have now drawn our Venn diagram by replacing those unknowns with their respective values. Now, we are told that hence should determine the number of times the patient ate fish, meat and vegetables, meat and fish only, vegetables only. Hence means from what you have done. So C, the number of times a patient ate fish will simply be the sum of all those values within the circle for F. So it's the same as the cardinal number of F, which is equal to 11 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, which will give us 29. And D, we are asked to find the number of times the patient ate meat and vegetables. That is the same as the cardinal number of M intersection V, which would be 6 plus 10, which gives 16. The E part, we are asked to find the number of times the patient ate meat and fish only. So meat and fish only means you ate meat and fish without eating another thing. So cardinal number of meat and fish only will be equal to 5. And F, the number of times the patient ate vegetables only. That is the same as the cardinal number of V only. So it is equal to 13, following the Venn diagram. Then we have G. So the number of times the patient ate neither fish nor vegetable nor meat will simply be the cardinal number of F union V union M complement, which is clearly 15. You are asked to shade this region. So sketching that Venn diagram, we are going to have that shaded region clearly seen. So with this, the problem has been completely solved. And going through what we have done already, I believe any other problem similar to this will be within your reach to solve. So from our next class, we'll start something new, and you will need to go through what has been done to really master this set theory.